Hello everyone, welcome for this new episode of Timeout of Tamriel. We were missing last week and you know why. It's because console release, so many things to do. We were completely overwhelmed. We had too much stuff to handle and we had to play the game as well. So we didn't do the video, I'm sorry. And so this week we have decided that we will not speak about Arena as you voted. This will be reported for later because we have something terrible happening. Experience potion. This is terrible. So timeout. Sick trick. It's your turn.
All right. Well, first I guess I'll start with, we're talking about experience potions. It's something that they're adding into the Crown Store as well as the provisioning line. And basically what I guess they do is they add a 50% experience boost. So any experience that you gain, you're going to gain by 50% more when one of these potions is active. It's like 1,000 crowns, I think, for a stack of 10 on the Crown Store, and they last like 2 or 3 hours. And then the craftable ones only last for a half hour, if I remember correctly. But your provisioning skills, if you have them, or your provisioning passives, will enhance them the same way they would any other crafted potion that you take.
Well, so, it applies to champion points where they told us in the past that it would not.
Right. It's anything that's XP bound basically. So whenever you gain experience points and it applies more experience to anything in the game, that's going to be your overall level. That's going to be your champion points, like Deltia mentioned, and your skill lines. All that stuff's going to go by 50% more. And so that's basically what the potions are. And when they announced it yesterday, there was a ton of outrage and commentary on it, and I have been looking at this at every angle I can think of. I've been listening to feedback from everybody, asking questions, and not something that I really plan on using at all, but I do not see an issue with them. I wish the crafted ones were a little bit more powerful. I think the crafted ones need to be better than the Crown Store ones, and I think that the XP bonus, considering the other XP bonuses that are in the game exist, I think the XP bonus on these potions needs to be turned down. I think 50% is too much, but I'm struggling to see the outrage over this. I can't see it.
Yeah, let's explain to him why.
Okay, you go first. You want to explain? Go.
No, go first.
All right, well, I mean, this is the whole premise behind the reason I play video games. I've said in a million different episodes, is to get better as an individual and to feel more powerful and to create a team environment. It's as close as I can get to being in the military anymore without being in the military. Working together as a team to accomplish a goal. I don't play games solo. If I did, I'd play like Skyrim and The Witcher. I don't do that. I play with other people because I want to have fun. The process of getting better involves two things. One, time. Two, effort and determination to learn how the mechanics of the game work, learn your team, and then jive better. So if you take my premise of why I play video games, and let's say you throw $100 at it, and now you don't have to have any of that time factor, that completely ruins the reason I play video games, is because you can achieve your goal just by throwing money at it. Now, there should be a little bit of incentive for people to spend money in the game. It's a business, and I've defended ZOS a lot of times on their business model. But giving 50%, it's not Burger King. But giving 50% XP, which includes your overall account's performance based, is BS in my opinion. I do not like that. So yeah, for me, I can't fathom why this is done like that.
Yeah, and see, on my look, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's, I look at that and I'm like, I don't, random guy that runs past me in Cyrodiil, I don't care how fast he got to whatever level and whatever amount of champion points that he has. It doesn't matter to me how fast he obtained it. He is what he is.
Well, it doesn't matter how fast he obtained it. What if you played the same amount of time as him and he had 6,000, which it doesn't go that high, 6,000 champion points, and you have 50?
Well, let me put it this way. I've got 1,400 hours in the game. It's a lot. Probably not quite as much as you, Deltia, but that is a lot of time.
No,
in this
not
game.
near where I have.
And I mean, that's, for any MMO player, that's a ton of time. And there's a lot of people out there that have 2 and 3 times the amount of champion points that I have.
Well, then why do you play this game? Let's answer that question.
Because I enjoy it. It's fun. I like the Elder Scrolls world. I like questing. I like hanging out with my friends.
So, to you, the issue probably isn't if someone is more powerful than you, then getting a shortcut doesn't really matter to you.
No, I mean,
So
I'm always behind the curve, so...
You don't care.
Yeah,
but not really.
I will tell you why it will affect you anyway. I'm like you, I'm a slowpoke. I don't care if Deltia is done more powerful than me. Even if we were equal, it would be better anyways, right? It doesn't matter for me to be among the more powerful of the game. But what will happen with those potions is that will change the mentality of the people, and it will make the community toxic, or at least I'm afraid of that. And why? Simply because some players are min-maxer, they are like Delta, they want to be the most powerful guy, and they will take those potions. They will say, I must take it, I must grind, and I must use the best of it to become the most powerful. Then you have the sheep. The sheep are the ones that blindly follow the best, and they just don't think about what they are doing. They say, as Delta say I should do that, I do that what Delta said. And so they will take those potions, they will do the same thing, and they will, as they are not doing it with the same purpose or the same passion, but just because that's how it works, they will impose their view on other people. If you want to go in my group, you need to have that much champion point, you need to grind in that spot, and with this potion. People will have a kind of time is money attitude. They will not have the time to slack, to help each other, to chit chat, to do whatever, because they have their potion. Once they have drank their potion, they need to make the best of it. It costs money, or it costs gold, or it costs them hordes of farming of material, whatever. But they need to make the best of it. So they will, I know, I'm not helping you in this dungeon, I'm grinding my mobs to get better. The people that want to be competitive in PvP, in Cyrodiil, if you one-shot, it's not fun. There's already such a big gap between players, and that's what we were talking about Arena, right? Let's keep that for later. But if you want to be competitive in Cyrodiil, you have to take this potion, you have to grind mobs, otherwise you will be left behind. And if you want to do Battleground and Arena, oh my god, you forget Arena with this shit right now. You forget about it.
It's gonna be terrible.
With what you're saying, the problem isn't the XP potion. The problem is the champion point system.
Yes.
That's where the difference comes in.
Here it is. All you'd have to do to solve this is make champion points season based, like Parfax told me. So this comes from him as idea, this isn't mine. But essentially, if you had champion points, like let's say over 3 months, you could only gain 100. Who cares if you're drinking XP potions?
Yeah.
Because you can only get to a certain cap. Next month, boom, you can get 100. Now imagine this game for 3 more years. Someone like me, let's say, who plays all the time, drinks potions left and right, spends $10 a day on potions. I'm going to have 1,000 champion points. How are you going to catch up to me in this game? You start this
no
game,
way.
There's no catch-up mechanic. No. So there's none.
Even without the XP potions as it is right now, I would never catch up to you.
Yes, exactly. Champion. So here the gap is, instead of being a little gap of 100, it will be a gap of 3,000. That's the problem.
It doesn't concern. I just it doesn't bother me. I don't know. Again, I've looked at it.
Do you have PvP?
Not so much right now because I'm trying to get this DC character up.
Well, I mean, the whole point of it is essentially you're almost required to do 2 things now to stay relevant in your character's performance: spend money and grind mobs. That's the end game in ESO right now.
And that's not bad.
That is the end game in ESO. You have to spend time grinding mobs. All the people on top of the champion points and the leaderboards, They have 500 champion points. There's 0 downtime for them. They spend 4 hours grinding mobs, 2 hours doing DSA, 1 hour doing trials.
And then people will complain that the game is not fun, because for who
You're
is
grinding
fun
mobs.
to grind mobs? It's cut completely. You need to really don't give a shit about the system and not want to be part of it at all, to not care, and so it doesn't affect you. But even it will affect you by how can I say, not directly, but you know, by jump. It will affect you because you will have some people say, "I know you don't go in my group," because there's already people and guilds that are like that with the new add-ons that share the DPS. You have to have this add-on, otherwise you cannot be part of the group, blah 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 blah. You have already people that have this gear score World of Warcraft mentality of shit. And you will have those people, we will be like that. Huh, you're not having enough champion points, you are not part of the trial group if you're not having that much champion points by next week. You will have people that are playing like this, or that kick out players, and
I mean,
that's
that was
bad.
That was my concern with the champion point system to begin with, and I guess my problem with this comes in the fact that I already do not play with those type of people. I won't play with those type of people, and whether or not they get there 50% faster or not doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah, of course you can say fuck the system. We can say that in the real world too, but still we are kind of excluded. We are making our
the reality
own things.
You're talking about Skyrim versus ESO. The reality is, Skyrim you can play solo, so if you drink an XP potion, it doesn't affect anyone else. This game is multiplayer. What someone else does actually affects you. No, it doesn't. That's not true. What about people that farm 8 hours and get those XP potion materials? Now, guess what? That's the new currency. That affects you. What about the people that level their provisioning up and spend all their guild hoards all the spots because they find it on a PTS first? That affects you. What about the people that are running dungeons and the new content that comes out? Azos expects them to have had 300 champion points when they build the next dungeon. That affects you. One way or another, this game is multiplayer. What one person does affects another, and XP potions and being required to use them to stay relevant affects everyone in this game, and it affects it in a bad way.
Yes, and even those people that will farm those potions, that will get 3,000 champion points, which were supposed to be obtainable after 3 years of gameplay, and they do it in 3 months. Because of this potion, and they will be bored in the game. They will say, "Oh, but everything is easy."
I think
blah blah blah, and then it will break.
What's the end game in this game right now? What is it? It's to get champion points, right? How do you do that? Grinding mobs. I mean, the problem is, I think the champion point system is the problem.
Yeah, that I mean, from everything you're saying, that is it. That is absolutely it. You know, it's not how fast you get it; it's just the fact that it's there is what's going to cause issues. The current form.
It needs to be changed. There needs to be a couple things. There needs to be a catch-up mechanic. Otherwise, why would you start this game? No offense, Os, you guys have been really nice to me and wonderful, but essentially, if there's no catch-up mechanic, why start this game? You can never compete. There's no. It's just, you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I think
that's where I think. I mean, they could probably fix that in some ways. You know, like a temporary thing, just by adding arenas that are based on your champion rank level, you know, so like you've got
or you can't use them in PvP or something.
Yeah, that too.
I think that anyway they should make either the champion point by season, or the potion do not affect the champion point gain. It need to be one of those, otherwise it's unfair, because I'm against any sort of experience boost. No matter it's heirloom, it's potion, it's Mara ring, it's ESO plus bonus. I don't want it. It annoys me. I want to remove it. Can I please give me a Mara ring that take off my ESO plus bonus of experience? I'm out leveling everything. It's boring. Anyway, I understand that for some people it's important if they had made an orc Templar healer because they like orc, and after that they say, okay, that was a mistake. I need to make a Breton. They want to catch up fast. The potion is useful for them. That's a nice way to catch up. Or your friend is 10 level ahead of you. You drink your potion, you catch up your friend, you can play together. That's nice. But once it's reached the veteran level, once it's reached the end game, where you need to gain some champion points that were supposed a long-term goal, that's crap.
Yeah, I'm all about them making leveling system faster, because the leveling system in this game sucks right now. And grinding mobs is 15,000 times faster than questing. I don't like that. It should always be a little bit faster, but not to the extent of this. So I think their plans to like give other people, XP boost some different way, great, fantastic. But just to cut off, to make it champion points in your overall character's performance gives you the feeling that, you have to grind mobs, you have to suck these down, and the whole game is going to be centered around this. Last problem I have with it is they told everyone this wouldn't be the case. Like, I get it, it's a business model. I'm not mad at the messengers, Jessica, and them posting this because that's their job.
Yeah.
But it's someone at ZOS is like, ha 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 ha, look how well the horse thing went.
But
look how well that went. Let's just dump these in there. Who cares if 10 people quit? We'll have 1 million new console players.
I don't understand how because on long term, this will not benefit the game at all. It's not possible.
No.
What's their plan? What is their hidden ideas that they don't share with us? I don't get it. I don't see the positive aspect.
That right there, that's all about, console launch. Console players by and large will play a game for a few months and they'll move on. So
they want to suck money out of them, so they buy 10 of these things, get $50 out of them, and they move on, and
right. And then at that point, how fast they got to wherever they got is a moot point anyway, because they're no longer in the game. So it's a non-issue, and it's
true.
It's revenue that helps us out in the long run. So, it sounds to me like the root of the problem is actually the champion point system.
Yes.
And they could probably fix a lot of this by, I don't know how the code works, but they, if they could make it where it did not affect champion points, sounds like things would be a whole lot better.
Or just top it off. Just top it and say, if you take the potion, you can only get 4 champion points a day or something. Make it so you can't just suck because there is going to be people that suck these down and play for 10 hours a day grinding mobs.
Yes, like Korean players.
Well, I'm not generalizing anyone, myself. But there are going to be people that are going to have 1,000 champion points in a month. And their power level in PvP, I have 71. I am ridiculously powerful. Ridiculously powerful. With someone with 1,000, it's just... And what is there left to do in the game right now? I'm sorry, there's no Imperial City. I'm grinding mobs and doing PvP. That's it.
You've seen the video of Cypher soloing like 50%?
Oh, yeah. He was... Now imagine Cypher with 1,000. Imagine Cypher with 1,000 champion points. His skill, his gear, and his ability to play, he's unmatched. And
yeah, he can play Cyrodiil alone. He can be his own faction.
Yeah, Cypher for hire. No, but really, it's just... And they just went back on their word. And, I gave them credit for admitting they screwed up. Really? You went back on your word on this, guys? Come on. This is why I've quit games over something like this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to quit ESO. What else am I going to play? In fact, every single game ever now has this type of crap in it. And what are we supposed to do as gamers? Just eat it and go, well, every game has it. It's fine. Right? Isn't that kind of what's happening now?
So
every game has this.
What's your final thought? Did we manage to convince you?
Well, I still don't care.
Okay.
But I understand a little bit better where you're coming from. And, well, you say yet, but, you brought up other games. I have played other games where they didn't have anything like this. They introduced this stuff later. People outraged, and the game didn't get broken until they changed fundamental systems in the game.
So will this kill the game, do you think?
No.
Will it make it better?
I don't think it's going to make a big difference at all.
Okay. Okay, well, if Citric is right, then there's some hope.
Citric's right, we're not going to tell him he's right.
Okay, so
next
week, guys, next week, We don't vote. Next week is Arena. Which is nice.
Arena with XP potions?
Yes,
Hell
Arena
yes.
with XP potion. Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
watching, and the rage is real.
The rage
Bye-bye,
is
guys.
real indeed. Bye-bye.